Mortal Kombat returns once again in great form in Mortal Kombat Deception. The game is similar to 2002's Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, but it features online play, which is probably the best part about this game, as well as some other kind of peripheral modes, including puzzle combat and chess combat, and the single-player conquest mode. Where the real action is in this game is in the one-on-one fighting. This game delivers an excellent fighting game in its own right, and one that's bristling with features and unlockable extras. As in Deadly Alliance, the most interesting thing about MK Deception's fighting system is that characters can freely switch between 3 different fighting styles, even in mid-combo in some cases. This gives you access to a wide variety of different normal moves, and each character, of course, has his or her own unique special moves as well. So varying these up, performing different attacks, switching to your weapon mode, all figure into the gameplay. Deception makes a number of nice tweaks to Deadly Alliance also. For one thing, the signature uppercuts of the Mortal Kombat series are back. Now you can just smack people way high into the air as they gush blood. There's also a new combo breaker you can use to bust out of your opponent's most damaging strings of attacks. You can only use 3 of these per match, so they're tactically fairly interesting since you have to decide whether or not to use them right away or to save them for later on. The game now sports these interactive environments, these battle arenas that can kill you much more readily than your opponent can. Many of the arenas feature death traps of some sort. For example, certain stages take place atop a large pedestal of some sort where certain death awaits below. So if you uppercut the opponent or hit him really hard when he's near the edge, he'll fall off and die. This only ends the round and not the match, but still, it's a means by which you can easily mount a significant comeback. It's actually a lot more fun than it might sound like because these really lead to some very nasty deaths. The fact that the environments have so much to do with the action now just makes things more interesting overall. Of course, this wouldn't be Mortal Kombat without fatalities, and MK Deception has plenty of them. In Deadly Alliance, characters only had a single fatality each, but now you've got 2, and it wouldn't be going too far to say that these are some of the greatest fatalities that the Mortal Kombat series has ever displayed. These are really sadistic, really nasty, really gory, and just really excellent fatalities for the most part. The other new addition is the Harakiri, or the self-fatality. So if you lose a match, you can input a command and kill yourself before the opponent can finish you off. These, in turn, are actually pretty funny and pretty gruesome in their own right, though the one thing is, since you could input a Harakiri command pretty much at any time, whereas the guy trying to perform the fatality needs to position himself properly, it sort of gives the advantage to the guy who's just lost the round. So you might be able to save face a little bit while playing online, much to the chagrin of whoever it is just beat you and was hoping to pull off a fatality on you. Speaking of online play, the fact that MK Deception works well online is pretty amazing. Being able to play online, of course, makes a huge difference. It means that you don't have to resort to just playing against the often cheap AI to get your thrills. You can also play the game's puzzle combat and chess combat modes online, and these are sort of these interesting mini-games, though they're really not the main attraction of this game. Puzzle combat is a shameless ripoff, an homage to Capcom's Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, which, of course, is this classic versus puzzle game with sort of these super deformed fighting game characters duking it out at the bottom of the screen. Chess combat, which, much like puzzle combat, is inspired by another classic game, in this case Archon, which is an old chess-style computer game. Basically, this is chess mixed with Mortal Kombat, so you have Mortal Kombat characters representing chess pieces, and you move them around the map, and when 2 of them collide, you actually fight it out. Conquest mode, which is this single-player adventure that actually looks quite terrible and is really pretty boring, where sure enough it leads into this really predictable storyline and the whole thing just takes up way too much of your time, and you spend it running around opening treasure chests and collecting coins when you're not talking to bland NPCs. So what's the point of the whole thing? Can't you just skip it? Unfortunately, not really, because it's only in the Conquest mode that you find the special keys that you can only use to unlock the game's best secrets, including its hidden characters and alternate outfits and unlockable stages. So you're kind of forced into this mode that's really actually quite bad and definitely the weak point of MK Deception. On the plus side, you should be able to get out of the Conquest mode, save at any time, and go back into the fighting and get to the good stuff. And the good stuff really is quite great in MK Deception. The fighting is satisfying and packs in all the gore and just the excess that the Mortal Kombat series has always been known for, and it has that element of depth to it while at the same time retaining quite a bit of the pick-up-and-play appeal this series has always had. And to be fair, the Conquest mode does work well to give beginners the sort of training they'll need to pick up on the combo system and some of the rather interesting nuances of the combat. So all in all, MK Deception really is a great game. Some of the peripheral modes do seem kind of like filler, but the actual action, the core of the game, is outstanding. And MK fans are going to find a lot of cool references, a lot of their favorite characters, and just a lot of the stuff that's always been great about MK for all these years, right in this game.
Get over here! Finish him! No. Scorpion wins. Fatality.